Hi, this is just a short video talking about a couple of things. Number one, I'm talking about this 250-000. This is an OXA size quick change tool post. I bought it from Little Machine Shop. I bought this cutoff tool holder because of the 4-degree angle in it. This makes sharpening the cutoff tool very easy. Just run it into a grinding wheel, get the angle you want, hone it if you want. That's pretty much it. The second big thing for me, well, I made the four post hold down for the compound, and this helped a lot. This makes the compound a lot more stable. The other thing is the projection on the compound. You want it as far back as is practical to maximize your rigidity, to reduce the leverage. The tool pressure, of course, is down, and the distance from here to the center amounts to leverage. So by keeping the compound as far back as practical, it makes a difference in how well it works for you. Now, my 4-bolt hold down isn't the best for putting a prop under here, but you can make a small jack out of a bolt and the long nuts you can buy. Anyways, I did, and for summer operations it helps to put a prop under here. It reduces the amount of flex. The other thing about cutting the cutoff operation, you should be as close to the spindle as possible. This means using your shortest chuck. I have bought our R32, ER32 collet holders that bolt on the mini lathe. Now you can buy a 100mm, I think it is, collet chuck that would. You have to. Well, it takes some work. You have to come up with a 39mm by 4 mount for the Enco lathe. But the whole idea is to get your tool position as close to the spindle as possible. Otherwise, chatter happens. In my experience with this lathe, running it at the slowest speed makes a difference. It helps to reduce the chatter. Naturally, if the part you're making has a central hole, get that all done first before you do any cutoff operations. I've made a number of spacers, and it just helps so you don't have to run the cutoff tool very far in. Some people have broken cutoff tools in the cutoff operation. I never have, knock wood. Maybe I'm just been a little lucky. When I'm trying to cut off a big diameter piece, I will go in as far as I can with the cutoff tool, as is practical, and then I've actually used a hacksaw in the cutoff slot with the lathe turning and finished the cutoff. It may be better, depending on the part you're trying to make, to take the part out and put it in a saw, cut it off with a hacksaw, whatever, and then finish facing the part down to the diameter you want. Of course, this all depends on the size of the part you're making. If it's small, you're not going to be able to chuck it in and face it. you might make a mandrel and chuck it in the lathe and do some work with it. But that's neither here nor there. Mainly, I'm just trying to convey my experience with the cutoff tool, with the lathe tools in general. Chatter is a function of flexibility in the lathe. The spindle in some chatter situations actually is moving up and down in relation to the cutoff tool. The other thing is, like I was saying, get the tool as close to the center part of the compound, even to the point of backing it way in. You can tighten these. You can add another grub screw between the existing ones, and that helps reduce the flexibility that's in it because of the size. The other thing is the Enco lathe has a set screw buried under here. Locking the carriage makes a difference. It helps. Anything you can do to reduce any flexibility or movement helps. But basically, what it amounts to is if your cutoff tool is chattering in the work, go to a lower speed. Lubrication helps. Having the tool as sharp as possible also helps. That's about it. You can, of course, make a cutoff tool holder that bolts to the carriage or to the cross slide on the back side, and that would be a pretty solid arrangement. You just have to pay attention to get your tool up on the center line. The whole idea is, as this part is rotating with the rear cut off, the chips are falling out, and that is a help. So that about covers this little topic. Anyways, the whole idea is think about what you're doing and have fun.